Welcome for another House of the Dragon reaction, episode number 2. Hi, in case you are new around here, my name is Ro, and I am a Mexican who loves Game of Thrones and also is a fan of House Targaryen. I am ready for the second episode of House of the Dragon. The first one was so intense, so I would like to make a very quick recap. One of the things that I love the most about Game of Thrones is that the characters are not black and white, good with a little bit of bad and evil with a little bit of good. Like good people doing wrong things with the right reasons and vice versa. So I was thinking that I want to give you my first impression of some of the main characters. We have Viserys, who's the king. I think he's kind of level-headed, but kind of easy to manipulate. And you can tell that he has a soft spot for his brother. We have the brother, Daemon, who we know that he rides a red dragon. I think he's ambitious, unpredictable, aggressive. I don't think he's bad, at least not entirely. We saw him with Rhaenyra, and he was kind of a softie with her. And then we have Rhaenyra, who's riding a yellow dragon. She reminds me a little bit of Arya Stark. She's like willful and determined, and she's not happy with her condition of being a woman and the role of women. We have her aunt, Rhaenys, the queen who never was. I see her like she's observant and she is clever. I think that she might also be good at strategy, but I'm not just going crazy with that. And I perceive her a little bit cynical. What do you think about that? On the other hand, her husband, Corlys, I think he's kind of trying to look good with the future king, whoever that king is. So he was very supportive of Daemon first, and now he's gonna be, I'm guessing, very supportive of Rhaenyra. But I don't know, I think he still has a little bit of ambition, so maybe he will also push to have his wife on the throne as she deserved. That might be another faction of the civil war that we're gonna see. And then we have the High Towers. Otto, who's the hand of the king, I see him as very focused. He's ambitious and he's good with strategy, which is why he decided to push his daughter to the king's bed. They said that he's the second son, so he can only get whatever he grabs for himself. So we'll see that. And another very important thing is that he absolutely despises Daemon. And on the other hand, we have the daughter, Alicent, who's anxious and she's like willing to please everyone. I think that she looks forward to having a good position in life because her father kind of drilled it into her brain. And I think she's also easy to manipulate. She reminds me a little bit of Sansa, but Sansa had a little bit more fire in her. I think Alicent is a little bit more dull. We saw in the last chapter that they were talking about the Triarchy, some free cities that are kind of making a navy army that it's holding back the pirates, but at the same time it's probably gaining a little bit too much power and should pay attention to them. We saw the beginning of the dreadful Golden Cloaks that were creation of Daemon. What a surprise! Emma the Queen died in childbirth in the most horrific way. Poor woman. Let's not talk about it. And also her son. So therefore there was no clear heir. And because Daemon kind of went overboard celebrating his being the only heir again, he kind of lost it. And now the king decided to name Rhaenyra as the heir, and we're gonna see a lot of factions disagreeing and trying to fight for the throne, which is interesting because this time we have a civil war, but it's not in between different families, it's in between the same Targaryens. And we're gonna see more dragons, I hope. We also saw Alicent visiting the king's bedroom, and we know where that's going. Although I don't think anything happened yet. Yet being the key word. And well, Daemon was sent back home with his wife, and we saw him taking this companion of his from the brothel. I'm wondering, is she similar to Tyrion's Rey? Does Daemon love her? I don't know. I think we haven't seen a lot of her, but we will see more, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and we also saw Criston Cole, which hasn't been that important yet, but they mentioned him and made kind of a focus on him because he's a good fighter. He doesn't come from a renowned house. He's the son of the steward. I think he's gonna win Rhaenyra's heart, and he's gonna start playing a more important role too. That was my fast recap. Let's already go into the chapter, shall we? Ah, yes, the intro we were waiting for. So much blood. This time is not like things unfolding. This time is the road that the blood is following. Very interesting. Ah, that thing looked a little bit like a pyramid. Ah, the crab feeder? Oh, that person's alive. Oh, he tortures them with crab? Oh my god.
So Ryan was a strong Lord Commander of the King's Guard.
Yes, Your Grace. He was found to have passed gently in his sleep. The succeeding Lord Commander, Sir Harold...
King's Guard must soon be restored to its full complement of 7.
4 ships have now been lost. The last one was flying my banner.
The Crown will compensate you for your ship and crew.
I don't want compensation.
He wants to be heard.
I want to seize the stepstones by force and burn out this crab feeder. These pirates are not the free cities.
Who do you think provides them with their ships and tender?
What reason does the crab feeder have to fear us? The king's own brother has been allowed to seize Dragonstone, and Daemon has squatted there for over half a year.
Ah, it's past 6 months, okay.
I've sent envoys to Pentos and Volantis to see if we might find common cause.
What is she
The
thinking?
stepstones will be settled.
You have dragon riders, father.
To make a point.
It isn't that simple.
It would be a show of force.
At least the princess has a plan.
Always supporting the next heir, huh?
Why don't you take the princess to see about the new King's Guard posting, Lord Commander?
Why don't you get rid of her while we talk, while the grown-ups talk? Her idea wasn't bad. Send envoys with the dragon riders.
Sir Desmond has proved strong and steady in both the tourney lists and without. Sir Desmond recently brought a would-be poacher to justice.
You might thank him for his leal service, Princess.
Sir Aemon was knighted at 8 and 10.
Do any of these knights have combat experience beyond capturing poachers?
That's a very good question.
Sir Criston Cole.
Ah,
I fought for a year as a foot soldier against the Dornish incursions. Sir Arlen Dondarrion knighted me after we raised 2 of the watchtowers along the Burnway.
I choose Sir Criston Cole.
Let's not be too hasty.
but she chose with a good base.
Crickle and Mallister are important allies of the Crown.
My father should be defended by a man who's known real combat, should he not?
Yes. Yeah, this is not a matter of politics. This is a matter of protection. I mean, it's a little bit of both, but I agree with her.
The Valyrian capital was built into a volcano, much like Dragonstone.
It is truly wondrous what you've built.
I only pore over the histories and provide the plans.
Do you believe that Westeros can be another Valyria, Your Grace?
She even has a shaky voice, matching her character.
The glory of old Valyria will never be seen again. 7 Hills.
She's not a fool.
Tell me, how is Rhaenyra? Well, these days she doesn't say more than a few words to me.
It will take time. It did when I lost mine own mother. What if you went to her?
There are times when I would rather face Red himself than mine own daughter of 15.
You do have such an easy way about you, Your Grace.
You do not mention our talks to Rhaenyra, do you? I fear that she wouldn't understand them.
It's our little secret. She didn't like that. But she should know it was gonna be like that at the beginning. I mean, if Rhaenyra is 15, how old is she? 18? 20?
What if your father were to remarry?
To me.
Your father loves you. He chose you for his heir.
He didn't choose me, he spurned Daemon.
Sort of, yes.
Kneel with me. I find this is a way to be with my mother. Here in the quiet of the steps, I feel close to her.
Are they praying to the mother?
What do I say? It's only for you and the gods to know.
Oh, she needs that. You can tell by her face. Let it out.
I want him to see me as more than his little girl. Mine own father does not know the language of girls either.
So far she's good. She's kind of helping both of them to find a way of approaching each other. They need each other after the loss that they suffered.
I wanted to assure you how much I value the bond between our houses. Rhaenys is my favorite cousin, after all.
I wish to apologize. It was not my intent to make offense.
As king, it is my obligation to avoid war.
I fear that the eyes of our enemies are presently fixed on the Red Keep. A girl has been named heir to the Iron Throne. The king's brother, so disinherited, has claimed the Targaryen seat on Dragonstone without challenge.
They see you weak.
You paint such an aspirant portrait of my reign.
At the moment, the crown is perceived as being vulnerable.
To elude a storm, you can either sail into it or around it, but you must never await its coming.
I like that analogy.
Wed our daughter Rhaenyra. Unite the two great surviving Valyrian houses.
The girl is what, like 8?
You can show the realm that the crown's strongest days are ahead, not behind.
I knew they were gonna push for the crown, but not sure that's the way.
So the realm expects you to take a new wife sooner or later, Your Grace. You could not ask for a stronger match than Rhaenyra.
Well, yes, maybe a full-grown woman. One that you do not have to wait until she's capable of producing babies.
We should be free to speak our minds to one another. I loved your mother very much.
As did I.
Are you gonna tell her that they are pushing you to marry again?
Sir Harold provided a fine field of tawny knights, but in questioning them, I discovered that Sir Criston was the only man among them with true battle experience.
You will make a fine knight of the King's Guard.
Today at small council...
Pay it no mind. You will learn.
She will learn what? To shut up? What is that? Worms?
This is our best chance to save the digit.
Oh, from the cot?
The maggots will remove the dead flesh and hopefully
Ew!
to the rock.
Ugh.
I held an audience earlier today with Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys. He proposed a marriage, the Lady Rhaenyra.
Such matters must be discussed with a small council.
That is what I'm doing.
The Lady Rhaenyra.
He's too young. Please say
young.
yes, thank you.
Uniting the two great Valyrian houses would certainly signal unity throughout the realm.
Why not better make a betrothal between Rhaenyra and their son?
I do fear what Rhaenyra might think.
What does it matter, Your Grace? Her father must propagate the royal line.
Dearly loved my own lady wife. The pain of her passing still haunts me. You are the king, but I do not envy you.
A little bit of empathy. She's just a girl. That's so inappropriate. It was inappropriate with Alicent.
You were Balerian's last rider.
Only for a short time, before he died. With Balerion died the last memory of Valyria of old.
I would give you many children of pure Valerian blood, so that we might strengthen the royal line and the realm.
Is that what your father told you to say?
You can tell. She doesn't have the face of a convinced girl.
What did your mother tell you?
Oh, no, 14? That's too young still. That's so weird. So weird, so uncomfortable. Just to think about it.
It bothers you, does it not?
Of course, it should bother you more than her.
Rhaenyra is your daughter, Princess. Does it bother you?
Of course it does. But I understand the order of things.
If you mean to elicit some anger from me, you should know that you're failing, Princess.
Whether it's to my daughter or to someone else's, your father will remarry. His new wife will produce new heirs. And when that boy comes of age and your father has passed, the men of the realm will expect him to be heir.
You can tell that she's bitter about it.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
But the men of the realm already had their opportunity to appoint a ruling queen at the Great Council, and they denied it.
They denied you, Princess Rhaenys. But they bent the knee to me and called me heir to the throne.
A battle of egos.
Men would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend the Iron Throne.
She's not wrong.
And your father is no fool.
What is curious is you can tell they are not close to each other, because she didn't call her aunt. She called her princess.
The small council is urging me to remarry.
A good and kind queen will give comfort to your subjects. Brought you something.
A new piece for the... What was it? An eagle that broke?
I asked the stonemason.
Ah, no, it was not an eagle. It was, of course, a dragon.
A very kind gesture, Alicent.
And a very smart move.
Your Grace, I've called a small council to an emergency session.
What happened now? What is it now?
Skorkidoso zedriso droman tomepsa uliroti rilaudixo. Daemon.
The prince left a missive.
It is the pleasure of Daemon Targaryen, the Prince of Dragonstone and rightful heir to the Iron Throne, to announce that he is to take a second wife. She is to assume the title Lady Missaria of Dragonstone. Her Grace is with child and is to have a dragon's egg. The prince has invited you to his wedding, Your Grace. It is in 2 days' time.
Who is
2 days.
Lady Missaria?
Daemon's whore.
Oh,
What would you have me do? Send him to the wall.
He have gold cloaks and has now stolen a dangerous weapon.
Skoriodromon, Euapis. Skoriodromon, Daemon Leitas.
Dromon hidrotso iles, dariloro belo matzombile, iderepte enkon.
oh, ho, ho.
I will go to Dragonstone and drag Daemon back.
Oh, now he's angry.
Daemon is without limit. Let me go to Dragonstone.
Oh, of course, because he's dying to face him and kill him. Rhaenyra used to adore her uncle, and I think now she feels a little bit betrayed.
Will you see the king tonight?
If you wish it.
She doesn't want to. She will because it's her duty, but she doesn't want to.
I've assembled 20 of your best household guards, my lord hand. Sahara will also join us.
Oh, dear Dragonstone, we missed you. You're not very welcoming, but we missed you. What a cool shot.
You're to relinquish the dragon's egg, disband your army, banish your whore. His Grace would never lower himself to entertain such a mummer's farce.
Don't provoke him any more than needed.
It's a Crispin, wasn't it? It's a Kristen Cole, my prince. Perhaps my prince recalls when I knocked him off his horse.
Those traditions are for the true-born children of royalty, not for bastards fathered on a common whore.
Lady Missaria is to be my wife.
This is an abomination. With every breath you soil your name, your house, and your brother's reign. To choose violence here is to declare war against your king.
Wonderful.
Even if it ends in the death of your unborn child and its mother.
The dragon is coming, of course. It looks like a hybrid between a snake and a dragon. And it's scary. Really scary. Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra! Haha! Yes! Are we gonna see a dragon fight? Oh yeah. Oh, I love her. She's such a badass. Maybe a little bit foolish, but a badass anyway.
Take care not to startle Syrax, my lords. She's rather protective of me. Kepa nucha inaza drisdoro. Kesu ugleisa, luon zombaz mi anuchon isa.
Ia sila você euro tao. Tubi maneri, Nike de Niklas.
Apraziri ziri ema.
Pipo tzatro zombie mazum pilo vule, konir nuhruho sutjailan.
Sikilat.
Razilari tubi.
She's not pregnant.
I'm right here, Uncle. If you wish to be restored as heir, you'll need to kill me, so do it. And be done with all this bother.
She's gutsy. But he loves her. I think he loves her, truly. Give the egg. She handled it better than you did. Mostly because she has a better relationship with him than you do, but still. I gotta admit, I wanted to see the dragons fight. When are we gonna meet the actual wife? She's mad. Why are you so upset?
You asked, we were to be wed?
and that I was with child. I ensured long ago that I would never be threatened by childbirth.
Good. Children can be such irritating creatures.
What would they do with a Commoner he claims he's taken to wife and made with child?
No one will harm you.
I have been sold this property more times than I care to count. Most of my years have been spent living in terror. You can afford to play your stupid games with the king, but I cannot. I came to you to be liberated.
Liberated? From what?
A little bit naive.
Fear.
I like her accent. Makes it that tiny bit difficult to understand her, but I love her accent. Whose idea will it be to take Alicent as a wife? Otto's or Viserys?
I have felt Corlys Velarion's envious gaze staring at me from across the Blackwater. Lena Velaryon.
And she is the eldest daughter of the wealthiest house in the realm, and she has Targaryen blood. What's to mislike?
She is 12.
She will mature.
What if I was to reject Lord Corlys' proposal?
I fear nothing short of a direct line to the Iron Throne will satisfy him. You should also consider that we find ourselves on the precipice of war in the Stepstones. But Driftmark makes for a better ally than it does an enemy. If you truly want my unencumbered opinion...
I do.
You should wed Lena Velaryon, Your Grace.
The princess has returned from Dragonstone.
Dragonstone?
She's gonna start behaving like an heir, and he will have to see her like that until he has a new wife.
You disobeyed me. You are my only heir. You could have been killed.
May I sit? And retrieve the egg without bloodshed. A feat I'm not sure Sir Otto could have accomplished alone.
Yes. Well, I sometimes forget how alike you both were. Your mother's absence is a wound that will never heal.
It pleases me to hear you say this, to know that I'm not alone in my grief. The king must take a new wife.
And our line is vulnerable, too easily ended. And by marrying again, I may begin to ensure that we are better defended.
Against whom?
Whomever may dare to challenge us.
You are the king, and so your first duty is to the realm.
We understand the need of marriage, but does it have to be with a 12-year-old? Really?
Good morrow, my lords. I have decided to take a new wife.
They are all gonna be so surprised because it's not gonna be Lena.
I intend to marry the Lady Alicent Hightower before Spring's End.
Is Valerian, the greatest power in the realm.
And I am your king.
And you will shut up. He won the match. Besides that, she's already in age of providing children.
Rhaenyra.
Again, feeling betrayed. He likes to make everybody feel betrayed, right? Daemon, Rhaenyra, Corlys.
House Valarion's origins reach back to old Valyria, more ancient even than House Targaryen. But unlike the Targaryens, we were no dragon lords.
Who is he talking to? The crab feeder?
I've always thought of you and I as having been made from the same cloth.
Oh.
We're both men who have had to cut our own way through the world. We've been passed over too often. I've been petitioning the king to send my navy into the territory, but he's denied me.
It was never my brother's strongest trait.
What?
Being king.
The crab feeder is backed by powerful entities within the Free Cities, and the king's failures have allowed him to accumulate strength. I will not have Driftmark beggared while our king idles himself with feasts.
I will speak of my brother as I wish. You will not.
We are the realm's second sons, Daemon. Our worth is not given, it must be made.
Of course we couldn't have a roller coaster of emotions every single episode, which, thank you. I don't know, I can't handle that much. But this was very interesting because we start to see all the chess pieces move around to position themselves strategically where they need to be to seize the throne. I love to see Rhaenyra kind of showing his dad that she's not only a child with childish ideas, she is an almost full-grown woman. I say almost because she's still a teenager, but she already has enough vision and maturity to deal with matters in an effective way. And Carly's, he didn't like not being chosen to join houses, so now he's joining forces with Daemon. Very interesting. I didn't think he was gonna do that because I thought that he was gonna be looking for a stronger position behind the heir, but not like Daemon, but whoever was the. But now I see that he sees Daemon as the stronger choice, which it's interesting. And of course that Otto succeeded at placing his daughter in the place to become queen. He didn't have to offer his daughter, he just made sure that she created a connection with the king in the moment that he needed it the most. And the injuries of the king, I keep thinking that there is something on the throne that is causing these injuries not to heal properly. But I might be crazy. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know all your theories and whatever in the comments down below. And please don't forget to be spoiler free. Thank you very much. I deeply appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to click on the bell to get notifications every single time that I upload a new video. I swear I'm doing my best to get these reactions out as quickly as possible, but I'm a very slow editor. I just can't do it any faster. I'm so sorry. I will do my best. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you next week. Tequila Princess, out!